Namaste, and welcome to our exploration of combining Navratri with Ayurveda and modern science approaches. It is a festival that beautifully intertwines ancient wisdom with modern scientific understanding. Navratri, meaning 9 nights in Sanskrit, is not just a religious observation but a celebration that holds profound implication for our health and well-being. Today we'll delve into Navratri fasting, Ayurveda connections, and the contemporary researches being made on this. The essence of Navratri. Navratri is a vibrant Hindu festival celebrated twice a year, marking the transition between seasons. During these 9 nights, devotees worship the divine feminine, typically represented by the goddess Durga and her various forms. This period is not just about celebrating a festival or following rituals. It is about a holistic rejuvenation of your mind, body, and spirit as we transition into a new season. It's a time of spiritual reflection, cultural festivities, and importantly, a period of fasting for many. But why fast during Navratri? Fasting, an ancient practice with modern benefits. Fasting has been a part of human culture for millennia. Practiced across various religions and traditions, in recent years, science has begun to uncover the numerous health benefits associated with the age-old practice. Let's explore some of these practices in detail now. Cellular repair and autophagy. Fasting triggers a process called autophagy where cells break down and recycle old damaged components. This cellular housekeeping is crucial for maintaining optimal health and may even play a role in longevity. Research has shown that autophagy can help prevent neurodegenerative diseases, reduce inflammation, and even potentially slow down the aging process. Insulin sensitivity. Periods of fasting can improve insulin sensitivity, helping to regulate blood sugar levels more efficiently. This is particularly beneficial for preventing and managing type 2 diabetes. When we fast, our bodies become more efficient in using insulin, which can lead to better glucose control and reduced risk of insulin resistance. Inflammation reduction. Chronic inflammation is at the root of many modern diseases, including heart diseases, cancer, and autoimmune disorders. Fasting has been shown to reduce markers of inflammation in the body, potentially lowering the risk of various inflammatory conditions. The anti-inflammatory effects may contribute to overall health benefits of fasting practices like those observed during Navratri. Brain health. Fasting may enhance brain function by increasing the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor or BDNF, a protein that supports the growth and survival of neurons. Higher levels of BDNF are associated with improved cognitive function, better memory, and potentially reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Heart health. Studies suggest that fasting can improve various risk factors for heart disease, including blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and triglycerides. By reducing these risk factors, fasting may contribute to overall cardiovascular health and longevity. Obviously, weight management is something which is going to be put under the fasting category, but it is not something which I think actually works in the long run. But weight management is also a part of many benefits which can be placed under the fasting regimen. Now let's look at it from the Ayurvedic perspective. Let's see how Ayurveda tells us the benefits of fasting might be. In Ayurveda, in Hindu culture, it is called Vrat, by the way. So, first of all, in Ayurveda, the concept of Ritu Sandhi or seasonal junction is crucial. Ritu Sandhi means when two seasons are intertwining, the time of transition from one season to another is called Ritu Sandhi. And in Ritu Sandhi, your digestive fire is extremely vulnerable and susceptible to damage. It can become a bit too mand, and the correct word for mand here is low. In Ritu Sandhi, you are supposed to eat light foods and even fast. And Navratri usually falls during Ritu Sandhis. Navratri during these transition periods have been placed strategically by the scientists of India, which are more colloquially known as Pandits and Rishis. So, yeah, they were smart enough to know that during Ritu Sandhi you are supposed to fast and that you are not you don't need to explain it to everybody. Those who need to know it already knew it or were taught by the teachers, and those who didn't need to know it were being made to fast by following a good Ayurvedic regimen or a good festival. What are the benefits of fasting according to Ayurveda? Well, the first one is digestive reset. So digestive fire reset, where the Agni gets a bit too low and it needs to be nurtured into proper functioning again. Detoxification. The concept of inflammation in modern is in Ayurveda, which I correlate it like that, covered by Am or Ama. And Amas are the toxins that form in our body, which eventually causes many diseases. Almost all the diseases in Ayurveda are considered to be of origin because of a weak digestive fire and eventually the arm which forms out of it. Dosha balance during season, when the seasons are changing, the dosha balance is going to change around your surrounding and which is eventually going to cause some effect on your body. And this change in doshas will eventually affect your Agni and your body, and in order to adapt to that we prefer to have certain amount of discipline in our dietary regimens. In those times there are actually technically 6 Ritu Sandhis. We are celebrating the 2 which are extremely important to celebrate. Mental clarity. The BDNF angle of the modern sciences which we just discussed, where we are talking about the mental clarity, better memory, and neuron regeneration and neuron survival rates being improved by the BDNF. Well, the same goes here in Ayurveda. Here we are talking more about when the BDNF is being released. We are using it in congruence with meditation, and for those people who can meditate, very good, but for those who cannot meditate, at least they are focusing on one thing, which is whatever ritual they are going to follow, at least, or whatever the Navdurga part that they are going to read. They are going to be entirely focused on that one thing, and that is also going to improve their cognitive functioning. The modern and Ayurvedic angles are more or less similar, but once you understand them. It is not to say that only India developed systems like these. Many systems were like these. Even the Unani system, it has many concepts which are similar to Ayurvedic, and now modern concepts. For example, the angle of purification. Like Ayurveda, Unani medicine views fasting as a means of purifying the body and mind. This purification is believed to remove toxins and restore balance to the body system. Again, like a system created in the Ayurveda angles. Balance of humors. In Ayurveda, there is a consideration of 3 physical humors, 3 bodily humors, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. In Unani, there are 4. And fasting is believed to help balance those humors again. Preventive medicines. Again, since I am a practitioner of Ayurveda, I am not that well versed with Unani, but in Ayurveda, like we say that Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshana Maturasya Vikar Prashamnam Cha. Same goes in Unani. It is more a preventive medicine than a curative medicine. The angle where we are talking about fasting, in Unani also it is said that is a really good way of preventing many issues, many diseases being formed. That's why we are observing the occurrence of rosas. While we are talking about fasting, let's discuss a bit about the modern inclusion of fasting into the regular diet. Well, it is not exactly modern. In Ayurveda, we have already talked about these things that we are supposed to eat before our sun sets and long after our sun has risen. So they have created a system which is extremely similar to this, but they call it intermittent fasting. What is intermittent fasting, or what is mindful eating basically? Intermittent fasting is a way of extremely reducing the window during which you are supposed to eat, and expanding the window of when you are not supposed to eat. So basically we are talking about methods like, for example, let's talk about the method 16 by 8. 16 by 8 method is basically, if you add 16 and 8 you form 24. 24 as in 24 hours in a day. And in 16 by 8 method, you are supposed to not eat food for 16 hours and eat all your food during this 8-hour interval which remains. That is enough on its own, I am not denying that. But in Ayurveda we take that a step further. Here we are supposed to take food only 2 or 3 times a day. Because eating food when you are not feeling hungry is a way of creating harm. Basically you are going to create diseases when you are not feeling hungry and eating food. And eating too many times is also going to create diseases. So intermittent fasting is a step in that direction, but it is lacking one, actually many steps, but one very crucial step. And it will reach there, but why not reach there first? So you already know, you can do it in your life. What are some ways to properly celebrate Navratri, and what are some ways to properly observe a fasting? After the fasting window is over, after you have observed the whole Navratri and you are supposed to eat at night, you're supposed to eat light, not oily, spicy, fried foods. Instead, light foods which are easy to digest, so that you are gently nourishing the Agni which you have suppressed throughout your day. Now this Agni had done many functions throughout the day. It is going to digest the ama in your body and going to cause many other good things in your body, but right now it is a bit weak and you need to gradually support this digestion by slowly giving it food. Okay, there are many foods you can give. There is khichdi, there is dalia, there is rice porridge, gruel, there are fruits, light fruits, there are boiled vegetables you can eat, but not that tasty, so I don't recommend. Yogurt is not that easy to digest, but it is a good probiotic. And moong dal. Moong dal soup, or in Ayurveda called yush, is a good option. Listen to your body. No need to unnecessarily drink too much water during the whole Navratri festival, because it is a wrong principle being taught, which is not supported by Ayurveda. We don't say drink unnecessarily extra amounts of water. It is eventually going to cause you damage. It is going to put unnecessary load on your renal systems. So why do that? Eat mindfully. Eat to the amount your stomach is full and stop eating then. No need to eat extra. Combine meditation in your Navratri. Navratri is a time of holistic healing only because of the activity you are doing. It won't be anything holistic if you are not performing holistic activities. So yeah, perform meditation, perform pujas in that time. Consult professionals. Not everyone is supposed to fast. For example, sometimes elderlies are not supposed to fast. Sometimes pregnant women are not supposed to fast. All the times pregnant women are not supposed to fast. Consult a professional whenever you are considering fasting. Maybe you have some condition, maybe you are diabetic, maybe you are pre-diabetic. You should consider fasting, but you should ask your professional. You should ask your healthcare professional to give a good advice on that, whether you should be fasting or not. You should be mindful when you are fasting in a condition, because you should be able to understand your body's cues and then act accordingly. Fasting is there to improve your health, not to adversely affect you. So the purpose of this video was to make you understand that there is a unity in religion and science. Our culture was never a culture where we were separating science from religion. We were an extremely inclusive culture. In fact, religion could not exist without science, and science could not exist without religion in our culture. Navratri is an extremely template festival where you can easily observe the benefits of science and religion being intertwined. Science was the motivating factor behind the formation of any religious festival. Science was, first of all, the rishis understood the need of the hour. They understood that, yeah, the digestive fire is going to be extremely low during certain times, and you are not going to be able to make it be understood by everyone. India was divided into many sectors at that time where not everyone is completely educated. I don't think that even at current times, educated person can be called educated, but that's a topic about another day. So, religious festivals were extremely intertwined with science, and thanks to that, the people who were celebrating were extremely healthy. Science was concerned with astrology, with astronomy, with physiology, with biology, with ecology, with ecosystems, with everything actually, even with economics. The Kumbh Mela was supposed to be a time of extremely beautiful, by the way, celebration, but it was also supposed to feed many people's stomach. Every single thing in India was extremely well integrated, and the religion was a basis for many things, for economics, for physiology, for being healthy, for everything, for astrology, for astronomy, even for politics. It is still being used as a tool for politics, but it was then also. So yeah, the religion was extremely important, and people separating it from science is one of the biggest letdowns of the modern education system. And because it was separated from science, the new generation which is coming up, the generation which thinks that science is a new religion in itself, which is extremely beautiful beautiful statement by the way, is not actually following religion. And since they are not following religion, they are not even pursuing the logic behind any religion, any festival, anything. They are more or less losing way. It is not just about India. In India, we were observing the Vedic traditions being encompassing of astronomy, mathematics, medicine, philosophy, in Ayurveda, it being a spiritual and scientific approach both at the same time. In ancient Greece, philosophers were also scientists, mathematicians, often priests. Pythagoras being someone who discovered someone who made mathematical discoveries while also being extremely spiritual. This integration actually meant that the cultural and religious practices were often grounded in careful observation of natural phenomena and human physiology. Festivals, fasting periods, and rituals were not arbitrary but aligned with celestial events, seasonal changes, and biological rhythms. In fact, the separation actually had many consequences. There was a loss in context of religious practices, and people considered it just mindless taboo. Skepticism of traditions, resistance to science in religious communities. Religious communities actually stopped trying to follow science. For example, the beheading of Galileo. When the religion is not being a part of science, it is eventually going to cause problem to science. And when the science is not going to be a part of religion, science is not going to be having a good direction to move. It is not going to have a moral compass to move in. There would be a fragmented worldview actually. So there is an importance in reuniting science and tradition, moving forward a holistic approach. The only dream I have is a unity of sciences and religion, one where we are trying to understand the meaning behind our religion, behind our traditions. May Devi bless you with reverence, prosperity, and Shakti. Happy Navratri.